Welcome, wrestling enthusiasts, to another gripping installment of Catching Up With. Tonight, we delve into the explosive highlights from NWA Power, NXT, Ring of Honor TV, and TNA Impact, giving you an exclusive peek into the pulse-pounding action within the squared circle. Before we dive into the ring, let me extend a warm welcome to all our devoted fans. Make sure to mark your calendars for Saturdays, where we serve up your weekly dose of wrestling mayhem. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, Catching Up With is your one-stop destination for all things contained in these 4 shows. Enough preamble, let's gear up for the adrenaline-fueled journey ahead. Strap in tight and prepare to be swept away by the electrifying world of professional wrestling. NWA Power, June 4, 2024. The Country Gentlemen vs. The Savages of Samoa in a Crockett Cup first-round match. The Country Gentlemen emerged victorious over the Savages of Samoa in a first-round match of the Crockett Cup. The match lasted longer than anticipated, likely making it the longest first-round match in the Crockett Cup so far. Although not overly exciting, it was a decent and competitive bout, suggesting that the NWA may have plans to use the Savages of Samoa more in the future despite their loss. The Country Gentlemen's win was deemed the correct choice, although their prospects for advancing further in the bracket appear limited. Kyle Davis interviews NWA World's Heavyweight Champion EC3 and NWA World Women's Tag Team Champions the King Bees. Kyle Davis conducted an interview with NWA World's Heavyweight Champion EC3 and NWA World Women's Tag Team Champions the King Bees. Recently, there have been more interview segments on Power, effectively hyping first-round matches in the Crockett Cup and announcing upcoming bouts. In this segment, EC3 called out Wrecking Ball Legursky, announcing his intention to defend the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship against him. However, the rest of the segment, including the appearance of a local radio personality and the minimal input from the King Bees, felt superfluous. Kyle Davis interviews BLKG's, Mims, and NWA National Champion Tom Latimer. BLKG's, who recently had an impressive video package recapping his tumultuous year, made a return to NWA programming after a long absence. It appears he will be managing Mims going forward, a pairing that shows promise. NWA National Champion Tom Latimer also participated in the interview but seemed unconnected to Jesus' storyline. Latimer kept his remarks brief, addressing his upcoming challenger, Zion. Immortals vs. The Kids in a Crockett Cup first-round match. The Immortals defeated the Kids in another first-round match of the Crockett Cup. The commentator's reference to a previous attack by the Kids on the Immortals added some significance to the bout. Although the outcome was predictable, the Kids managed to score more offense than expected, indicating a promising future within the NWA. Meanwhile, the Immortals are early favorites to win the entire tournament. Kyle Davis interviews Dory Funk Jr. and NWA World's Heavyweight Champion EC3. EC3 made a second appearance during an interview with Dory Funk Jr. The primary purpose of this segment seemed to be for Funk to praise EC3. While it could have been scheduled for a later episode, it nonetheless highlighted the NWA's commitment to honoring wrestling legends like Funk. Ella Envy vs. Kylie Paige and Taylor Rising in an NWA World Women's Championship No. 1 Contenders 3-way match. Ella Envy triumphed over Kylie Paige and Taylor Rising in a 3-way match to become the No. 1 contender for the NWA World Women's Championship. This outcome was previously hinted at, especially regarding the implications if a member of Pretty Empowered earned the title shot against Kenzie Page. Envy's win, assisted by Miss Star, suggests a new partnership and marks her departure from Pretty Empowered. The match, which often felt like a handicap contest with Rising fighting the odds, was a well-executed main event. Overall show. The first-round matches in the Crockett Cup received notably more time this week, despite their predictable outcomes. The increased emphasis on in-ring action was appreciated, even though none of the matches were particularly standout. The twist with Ella Envy at the end added intrigue, making it a solid episode by Power standards. NXT, June 4, 2024. As the final show before Battleground, it's time to intensify the build-up, especially for the main event. This means setting up the anticipated match where newcomer Ethan Page may challenge Trick Williams for the NXT title. Additionally, expect a chaotic segment featuring participants in an upcoming ladder match. Let's dive in. Ava, accompanied by Mr. Stone, welcomes Ethan Page to the show, aiming to resolve any outstanding issues. Opening recap. Jordynne Grace vs. Stevie Turner. This non-title match sees Roxanne Perez joining the commentary team. Turner starts with a slap, but Grace responds with an even bigger one. Turner gets a brief respite after a quick knockdown, but Grace powers out of a reverse chinlock effortlessly. Grace then finishes Turner with a Vader bomb into the Juggernaut driver, a pump handle driver, at 2:59. The match is brief yet impactful, showcasing Grace's dominance. After the match, Grace and Perez have a standoff, with Perez feigning a cheap shot before retreating. Backstage segment. Trick Williams asks Lash Legend if she has seen Ethan Page. Legend hasn't seen him but mentions needing to cut off their relationship to focus on winning the Women's North American title. Williams understands and tells her to do what she needs to do. Shawn Spears and the Rookies. Shawn Spears is seen talking to a group of rookies, including J. Vaughn Evans, when Josh Briggs interrupts. Briggs accuses Spears of trying to manipulate the rookies. Spears, however, deflects by pointing out Briggs' insecurities. Showdown for the Women's North American title. Booker T hosts a showdown between the 6 women vying for the inaugural Women's North American title. Mikan recalls her previous ladder match experiences. Jada Parker asserts this is her time and issues threats, while Fallon Henley claims this match is hers because she'll be on her own. Kalani Jordan promises to give her all, and Sol Ruka vows to snatch 5 souls. Lash Legend finds this amusing but declares that Sunday is about being crowned champion. A jibe at Trick Williams escalates into a brawl, prompting Robert Stone to set up a 6-woman tag team match. Backstage with No Quarter Catch crew. The No Quarter Catch crew are seen talking into a mirror, with Damon Kemp finding the behavior odd, as they attempt to mimic the D'Angelo family's mannerisms. Thea Hale vs. Jasmine Nix. Andre Chase and Ridge Holland accompanied Thea Hale, while the rest of Chase U remained distant due to Holland's presence. Hale initiated the match targeting Nix's arm, but Nix countered by throwing Hale into the corner and delivering a kick to the ribs. Nix then shifted her focus to Hale's arm, stomping away aggressively. Hale responded with the world's smallest slam and applied a Kimura lock. Nix, however, managed to stay on her feet and backed Hale into the corner, forcing her to release the hold to avoid colliding with the referee. A swift Pele kick from Nix secured her the victory at 4:32. Ava and Mr. Stone disapprove of Ethan Page's contract offer. In another development, Ava and Mr. Stone expressed their dissatisfaction with the contract offer presented by Ethan Page. OC attacks Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Earlier in the day, the OC ambushed Axiom and Nathan Frazier at the merchandise truck, leaving the champions beaten down. Heritage Cup, Tony D'Angelo vs. Damon Kemp. Damon Kemp challenged Tony D'Angelo for the Heritage Cup. In round 1, Kemp's initial takedown attempt failed, but he recovered with a suplex and a series of stomps. However, D'Angelo quickly took control, securing the first fall with Forget About It at 1:47. After a break, round 2 concluded and round 3 began. Kemp dominated early, delivering repeated bridging German suplexes, but D'Angelo rallied with a series of belly-to-belly suplexes. Kemp responded with a DDT for a near fall, but the bell rang, saving D'Angelo from further damage. Round 4 started with D'Angelo hitting a spine buster, securing the second fall and retaining the Heritage Cup just 8 seconds into the round, with the match duration totaling 9:44. Ava mentioned that Ethan Page intends to sign his contract in the middle of the ring, but some details still need to be resolved. Trick Williams then interjected, insisting that Page should be given whatever he wants and promising to be present to ensure Page signs the contract. The conversation was cut short when Sexy Red called. Myken introduced herself to Jordynne Grace, and they got along well. Jada Parker entered the scene with some trash talk, prompting Ariana Grace to clarify that she and Jordynne were not related. Tatum Paxley admired the Knockouts title, but Jordynne emphasized its importance over Ariana's crown. A long video package highlighted the upcoming Shayna Baszler vs Lola Vice match in NXT Underground at Battleground. Both women have combat backgrounds, but Vice is known for her flashiness, whereas Baszler is more serious. UFC/MMA fighters also shared their insights. Match: Izzy Dame vs Natalya. Carmen Petrovic accompanied Natalya, who started by knocking Petrovic down and hitting a basement dropkick. Dame gained the upper hand during a fight on the floor, but a powerbomb attempt was countered inside the ring. Natalya couldn't secure the cross arm breaker as Dame powered her up for a ram into the corner. A powerbomb from the corner gave Natalya a 2 count, followed by a series of roll-ups that ultimately gave Natalya the win at 4:05. Nathan Frazer and Axiom declared their readiness for the OC at Battleground. Tyree Ekigwe and Tyson DuPont were set for a match, but Gallus attacked them from behind during the break. Gallus expressed their disdain for the lack of respect and their desire to be recognized as professional wrestlers. They declared their readiness to make Joe Coffey the North American champion on Sunday. Oba Femi then appeared, acknowledging Gallus's danger but expressing his own readiness. Wesley also stated his determination to regain his title. Wendy Chu is set to return next week. Lexis King boasted about attacking Dante Chen, who then ambushed King to start a brawl. The fight was broken up, but King issued a challenge for one more confrontation. Match: Lash Legend / Kalani Jordan / Fallon Henley vs Myken / Jada Parker / Sol Ruka. Jordan and Ruka began by trading takedowns and tagging in Parker and Legend. Parker's shoulder attack had little effect, so Myken entered with a shoulder of her own. Legend took down Myken, leading to Henley's entrance and a sliding right hand. After a break, Jordan quickened the pace upon re-entry. Parker pulled Jordan from the air and sat on her in the corner. Myken executed a pounce and a surfboard on Jordan, followed by a quick dropkick. Parker, after being hit with a stun dog millionaire, was interrupted by the appearance of Jasmine Nix and another figure. The ensuing chaos led to teammates fighting each other, allowing Ruka to hit the Soul Snatcher on Legend for the win at 9:39. A woman standing next to Nix appears to be JC Jane, with a jacket pulled over her face. Stevie Turner approaches Ava, asking for another match next week, but does not receive an answer. Eddie Thorpe expresses his readiness to fight for his heritage. Battleground rundown. Ava brings out Ethan Page for the contract signing. Page boasts about how significant a signing he will be, but Ava is not accommodating his demands. Page mentions that NXT needs star power following the draft. The fans' chants for Trick Williams irritate Page, prompting Williams to interrupt. The table is cleared out, and Williams asks Ava to give Page whatever he wants. Page discusses how he has been overshadowed for years and acknowledges that Williams faced a similar struggle. He commends Williams for making a name for himself and states that now he wants to do the same. Page signs the contract, but Ava hesitates. The agreement stipulates that if Page signs, he will receive an NXT title shot at Battleground, which would signify the end of the Whoop That era. Ava eventually signs, and the show concludes with a stare down. Although not a surprising outcome, it was a necessary development. Ring of Honor TV, June 6, 2024. Location, MGM Grand Garden Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. Commentators, Ian Riccoboni, Caprice Coleman. For the first time in a long while, a title match graces this week's event as Kyle Fletcher defends the TV title against Dalton Castle. This match stands out as a major highlight, offering more than what is usually expected. However, it remains to be seen if other matches will balance out the event. Let's dive into the action. Opening sequence. The show kicks off with a rundown of the night's card. Match 1, Queen Aminata vs Maserati. The bout begins with a struggle over a lockup until Aminata executes a suplex. A running leg attack sends Maserati into the ropes, followed by a big kick to compound the damage. Aminata capitalizes with a running dropkick on Maserati, who is tied up in the ropes, and finishes with the air raid crash at 3:26. Backstage segment. Dalton Castle appears relieved and apologizes to Lexi Nair for his recent behavior. Johnny TV interrupts, accusing Castle of stealing his sunglasses. Castle, uncertain of the exact term, asserts he has no qualms with TV. They bicker about whose plans are grander, with Lexi and Taya Valkyrie noting the enormity of their claims. Match 2, Marina Shafir vs Amira. The competitors circle each other until Shafir lands a kick to Amira's chest, dropping her. Amira attempts to kick Shafir away but gets a cartwheel instead. Shafir follows up with a suplex, setting up a reverse sleeper to finish Amira at 1:45. TV title match, Dalton Castle vs Kyle Fletcher. This match, which occurs approximately 17 minutes into the show, features Kyle Fletcher defending his title against Dalton Castle. They begin with a test of strength, leading to Fletcher retreating to the floor. Castle secures a DDT, sending Fletcher back to the floor again. Fletcher responds by knocking Castle off the apron and delivering chops and taunts in the corner. Castle counters, taking Fletcher down by the arm for a breather. A series of rolling throws puts Fletcher in trouble, but he manages to ascend the ropes, only to be crotched down by Castle. A running knee sends the action back to the floor. Fletcher recovers to deliver a half Nelson slam, followed by a brainbuster for a near fall. The match intensifies with both wrestlers exchanging roll-ups for near falls. Fletcher ultimately retains his title with a super kick into a piledriver at 12:20. Infantry vs Nick Komoroto/Jacoby Watts. Trish Adora accompanied the Infantry. The match began with Komoroto backing Bravo into the corner, but Bravo and Dean executed a double hip toss to take him down. Komoroto showcased his strength by skinning the cat, though Watts was reluctant to tag in. Dean evaded a belly-to-back suplex and passed the momentum to Bravo, who delivered a kick to Komoroto's face in the corner. Watts disrupted boot camp but was knocked to the floor. Komoroto managed a double clothesline but was then hit with a double super kick. Dean secured the pin with a frog splash at 4:04. Lee Johnson challenges Kyle Fletcher. Lee Johnson issued a challenge to Kyle Fletcher for a TV title shot. Fletcher, towering over Johnson, told him to get to the back of the line, citing Johnson's previous 2 losses. Johnson, however, remained confident and proposed a 2-3 falls match, which the champ accepted. Billy Starks vs Zamaya. In a non-title proving ground match, Zamaya, sporting notably tall hair, had a chance to earn a future title shot by either winning or lasting the 10-minute time limit. Starks quickly took control, landing taunting shots to the head and a release German suplex. Outside the ring, Stark sent Zamaya into the barricade before returning to the ring for more kicks. Starks ended the match with a swanton for the pin at 3:29. Post-match, Red Velvet arrived to chase Starks away, but Queen Aminata intervened, sending Starks back inside so Velvet could exact revenge for a previous attack. Griff Garrison / Cole Carter / Johnny TV vs Jack Jameson / Iron Savages vs Dark Order. The main event saw Silver and Jameson engaging in a pose-off before Jameson attacked Silver. Bronson entered to elbow Uno, and the commentary team humorously imitated the "Who's on first" routine. Chaos ensued with Garrison and Carter posing. The match settled briefly with Uno being stomped in the corner, and Garrison / Carter mocked the Dark Order's tagging. Uno eventually tagged Reynolds, who cleaned house. Chaos resumed as TV assisted his partners in posing. The Savages cleared the ring, but Reynolds hit a cutter from the top rope. Dark Order then executed a triple flipping slam to pin Jameson at 6:07. TNA Impact, June 6, 2024. Location, Megacorp Pavilion in Newport, Kentucky sets the stage for the upcoming spectacle, against all odds. With the main event featuring Moose defending the world title against Matt Hardy already locked in, the anticipation is palpable. However, amidst the fervor, another title match is set to electrify the audience. This week's showdown will showcase Laredo Kid defending the coveted digital media title against the formidable AJ Francis. As the commentators, Matthew Rewalt and Tom Hannifan, eagerly anticipate the unfolding action, the arena buzzes with excitement. The opening recap and sequence set the tone for the evening, building anticipation among the fervent fans. Amidst the thrilling atmosphere, it's revealed that this edition marks the 20th anniversary of the show, a testament to its enduring legacy. The evening kicks off with a clash between Khan and Jake Something. Khan begins with a strategic block, thwarting Something's initial offensive maneuver. Undeterred, Something unleashes a relentless assault, forcing Khan to regroup outside the ring. However, Khan retaliates with a calculated move, leveraging the ring post to gain the upper hand. Despite Something's resilient efforts, Khan maintains control, targeting Something's neck with precision. Yet, Something refuses to yield, rallying back with a barrage of strikes. Ultimately, it's Something's signature move, Into the Void, that seals Khan's fate, securing the victory at the 5-minute and 27-second mark. In the aftermath of the match, Khan seizes the opportunity to attack, only to be thwarted by the timely intervention of Eric Young. Young, reflecting on the occasion of the show's 20-year anniversary, joins in the celebration with the enthusiastic fans. Attention shifts to Moose's recent assault on Matt Hardy, setting the stage for Frankie Kazarian's upcoming bout representing the system. Kazarian hesitates, unsure of Moose's chances against Hardy. Meanwhile, the ongoing saga between PCO and Steph De Lander unfolds as PCO attempts to win her affection. De Lander, intrigued by PCO's advances, contemplates his gesture with advice from Sia Brookside, deciding to mull it over for a week. Giselle Shaw clashes with Shotzi McKenzie in a spirited encounter, culminating in Shaw's victory following a Cody cutter and a devastating running knee. Rosemary takes responsibility for the misfortunes of her loved ones, attributing their losses to her own sins. Steve Maclin seeks an alliance with Mike Santana against the Rascals, persisting even as Santana expresses disinterest in tag wrestling. Despite initial reluctance, Santana appears to be swayed by Maclin's proposal. The bout between Mustafa Ali / Champagne Singh and Speedball Mountain unfolds with a series of high-octane exchanges. Ultimately, Seven and Bailey emerge victorious, overcoming Ali and Singh's underhanded tactics to secure the win. The personal concierge escorts the rejuvenated Ash by Elegance back to the arena following her life-saving minor surgery. In the Knockouts title match, Jordynne Grace defends her title against ally Sin Can, with Marty Bell accompanying Kansas. Grace charges at Can from the get-go, unleashing a flurry of attacks in the corner. However, Bell's interference momentarily halts Grace's assault. Despite Kay's strikes, Grace manages to turn the tables, executing a Saito suplex. Grace counters Can's charge in the corner and lands a muscle buster, but it's not enough. After overcoming Bell's interference, Grace finishes the match with a powerbomb into the Juggernaut driver, securing her title reign at 6:10. On Sami Callihan's Death Machine TV segment, tensions rise as he takes issue with Jonathan Gresham's comparison to an octopus, hinting at a future showdown at Against All Odds. In the digital media title bout, Laredo Kid defends against AJ Francis, with Rich Swann accompanying Francis. The match starts with a fast-paced exchange, but Francis gains the upper hand by slamming Kid into the apron. Despite Kid's resilience, a distraction from Swann allows Francis to capitalize, hitting the down payment for the pin and claiming the title in just under 5 minutes. Nick Nemeth takes on Frankie Kazarian next, with Nemeth initially gaining control with an armbar takedown. However, Kazarian rallies back, countering Nemeth's offense and applying a chinlock. The action continues with back-and-forth exchanges, culminating in Kazarian securing the win with the Danger Zone at 14:35. Following the match, the system launches a post-match assault on Nemeth, prompting Ryan Nemeth to intervene. However, Moose enters the fray, leading to a chaotic beatdown. Joe Hendry attempts to intervene but falls victim to Moose's spear. Matt Hardy interrupts, inviting the system to the Hardy compound for a showdown next week, concluding the show with an Addams Family snap. Value of wrestling promotional considerations. Attention wrestling enthusiasts. Prepare for an exhilarating dive into the heart-pounding realm of professional wrestling. Ensure you're tuned in, subscribed, smashing that like button, and activating notifications to catch every electrifying moment. Weekly schedule. Monday AMP, Friday, live reviews of Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown with your hosts Big Time and Paulus Clark. Tuesday, New Japan Rebound podcast hosted by Miguel Z. Wednesday, live review of AEW Dynamite. Saturday, catching up with podcast recapping the week in NWA Power, NXT, Ring of Honor TV, and the latest episode of TNA Impact. Sunday, weekly roundup podcast at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with Big Time, Paulus Clark, and Miguel Z. Dive into the week in wrestling, breaking news, major storylines, and insightful commentary. From the bottom of our collective hearts, we thank you for giving us a little of your time and attention. You could be spending it anywhere, and we are so happy you are taking this journey and discussion with us. You are our tribe, let's continue to grow together. Stay connected, stay engaged, and let's make every week unforgettable in the world of professional wrestling.